Hello and welcome to the second video in the Getting Started series. So this video is all about launching the design experience. So at the moment you'll be in the state where you've created a SharePoint list. It's defined with the columns that you want inside that list. So for example, if you're creating a customer form, then you'll have created perhaps a customer list that has things like the first name and the last name, the company name and address details and telephone number, etc. And once you've got all of those columns defined, we can start to customize the list in the way that you want it to appear. And throughout the entire series of Lightning Forms help, we're going to be using the purchase order example. So I'm going to go into the purchase order list that I've created, and if you have watched video 1, the Getting Started overview, you'll know that inside of this list we've currently got the new form in its default state. So this is the typical side panel that you would see in every single SharePoint list form, and we've also got a customized form which you can see when I hit edit. So when we go into the edit experience, you'll see the design that we created earlier with the different tabs and the sub list and so on and so forth. Okay, so what we're going to do is just figure out how to launch that design experience. And you should see when you go into your modern SharePoint list or library a Lightning Forms button. And if you don't see that Lightning Forms button, then it's usually for one of two reasons. Number one, you may not have permissions to modify the forms using Lightning Forms. If that's the case, you need to make sure that you have full control to the site where you are going to be customizing those forms. So that is something that if you don't have that access, maybe you can request that access, at least in order to be able to create your forms that you're looking to build. The second reason is it hasn't been installed correctly. If it's not installed correctly, then there is the installation guide that you'll find on the Lightning Forms Help Center, and again our team will be able to help you with that as well. If you want to put us in touch with the administrator, we'll ensure that the product is installed successfully for you. So you should see the Lightning Forms button. If you maybe don't see it on the command bar, another reason is that it may be underneath the ellipsis. So you can now inside of SharePoint create your own custom buttons. Maybe that people have been enjoying creating custom buttons, and therefore this has sort of gone off the screen and you need to click that ellipsis in order to be able to see it. Yeah, I can see mine. So here it is. I'm going to click the Lightning Forms button, and in that Lightning Forms button you'll see the Lightning Forms dialog appear, where we've got the three different forms that make up your list. So we've got the new form.aspx, the edit form ASPX, and the display form ASPX. Now it's possible you may have more forms. So if you used SharePoint Designer to build new forms on this list in the past, then you may see those forms. You, in that case, be able to see which is the default form as well. If you're in a document library, the document library has edit and display, but no new, because new is actually uploading a document or creating a document. So just bear that in mind. If you don't see a new form, that's possibly why. So in here, we've got the button that will toggle between customize and edit customization. So of course, if you've not yet customized the form, it's going to say customize. If you have customized the form and you want to go back and continue the customization or add further improvements, the button will say edit customization. So that's the case for this example. I've got one uncustomized form at the moment, which is my new form.aspx. There is also a link out to the license panel as well here, and we've also got a link out to the help center. So under the new form, we're going to hit customize, and that will just take a moment to launch the customized design experience. And don't be concerned that this is showing full screen and not inside a side panel. You can absolutely control how the form is going to appear, but in the design experience it's always going to show full screen. So clicking onto form settings, and we'll get more into this in the subsequent videos, this will help you control what that side panel looks like, or you can also make it full screen if you want to. So that's how to launch the design experience. Now, there is also a get started button in here. So You can use this rather than navigating the help center and watching these videos. If you're quite confident about what you're doing, you can go through and learn about the styling. So there's different options in here that you can read through within the context of Lightning Forms. There is the save and close button. So this is the save and close button to save and close your design experience. You'll notice also below that is the save and cancel. This is actually the save and cancel that is on the form itself. It's not the save and close for Lightning Forms. So the save and close is here, or you've also got a save which you can click periodically. And it's important to note that we don't auto save. So as you've made some design changes, you may want to hit save every now and again to make sure that your changes are saved inside Lightning Forms. Now, once you have finished your design, of course, you can save it, you can test it, and so on. And at any stage, you can also export it as well. So you can export your configuration and import that perhaps into the other forms. So this is quite useful once you have a nice design experience that you want on the new form. You also want that same design experience on the edit form, the display form. You can absolutely export that from here and then import it into the other two forms. And we'll be going into detail on that in the next video. You can also uncustomize. So if you're just experimenting, you're dragging some fields around and maybe adding some additional fields and experimenting with tabs, but you don't yet want to publish this for everybody to use, you can actually just reset to the standard form. Just a simple uncustomize. We'll put it back to how it was. So you'll notice when I hit save and close and then go back into Lightning Forms, that it now says edit customization. So that is now a customized form. And when we go back into that design experience, if I was to uncustomize the form, be aware you're going to lose all your changes when you do that. So if you're not sure, maybe export your design. So now we've done that, you'll notice that going into Lightning Forms, it now says customize again. So I could click onto customize and I can load in a form design. So I'm going to import a form. And as you can see, I've now got a new form layout that I exported previously. Okay, so that's how we can work with that, and I'm just going to put this back into the uncustomized state, ready for our next video where we start designing forms. All right, many thanks for watching.